Okay, so for step 11, the front gearbox, we are going to need these parts, this part off of parts tree A and that part. So it looks like that, and it looks like that. And then for hardware, we're going to need these MA5 tapping screws, 4 of those, and the plastic bearings are getting replaced with the ball bearings, as we know. And then, of course, there's our finished differential. So we are now going to place it into that gearbox. So we're going to need to grease it up. And again, I'm using bearings, so I'm not going to grease up that, but we're certainly going to grease up the main gear. So let's get started with that. So let's grab our gearbox first, and you can see that we need to put this differential into this. Now it shows note direction, so you can see that on this side you've got the top piece that we screwed in, so it's got to go on the other side, and then our 2 bearings are going to slide in between, just like that. So it's going to look like that. Now, we obviously have to grease this up. Well, I would prefer to grease it up once it's into the gearbox, because again, it's going to make it so much easier to do. So we're going to grab our grease. And run around, greasing it up. And we'll grab our other grease, which we're going to have to, we're using every bit of grease that we can here. Dun, 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 dun. Squeeze it through. And I'm going to squeeze that again. Yes. Squeeze it more and more and more. So we are now all the way around that. You can see all the grease on the gears. I might just squeeze just a touch more. There we go. Okay, so there we have it. So now we're going to grab that top piece, and you can see just the way that this is shaped and the way that that piece is shaped, that we're going to slip that on top of there, just like that. And you can see how that's just sitting on top. So now we just need to screw in the 4 screws. Grab one of them. And we'll screw that in. And again, I'm going to be going around, so I'm actually doing a crisscross pattern. So we've done one side, we're going to screw this one in. Then we'll grab the next one, put that in there. And grab the other one. Hold that and screw that in. So you can see all 4 screws are now in, and now I just need to tighten them down. So I'm just going to do that and we'll come back. Okay, so all 4 screws are down. They're in there nice and tight. Didn't totally over tighten, but you can kind of feel it with there being tapping screws and going to hard plastic. Once you've reached the end, you kind of know. Now you can see it's open on the top, which will obviously be how it's going to attach to the other gears as we move forward in the steps. But I would again suggest putting those drive cups joints into the gear, only because we want to make sure that everything's running smooth. And you can see that in one direction it is. If I hold that one, we have the differential working as well. We just don't want to, we want to make sure that nothing was binding as we were screwing this in. So everything is fine. So we are done with step 11. So we can now move on to step 12, which is the counter gear.